Question: have you ever been the unfortunate recipient of the words, "You can't do this, you can't do that"? Let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I love to help people keep some of that hard earned money. There you go. Have you ever been the unfortunate listener to the words, "You can't do this, you can't do that"? Do you think this might have a negative impact on the style of your life in terms of saving money? I truly believe it is possible. Today, I want to talk to you not so much in like a list of things to do, but more like a chat. I can actually tell you that I have personally heard a couple of people say to me, "Don't start a YouTube channel. Why should you start a YouTube channel? Don't do this, don't do that." I heard, as much as I heard some positives about starting a YouTube channel, I also heard some negatives. Like, I'm so glad I didn't listen to the negatives. I pressed on that record button anyway. Do I have a huge YouTube channel? No, I don't. But if I help about even 10 people in the course of the few years I've been on here, then guess what? I achieved my goal, because my daily goal is to help at least one person viewing this video throughout the lifetime of the video. And when I hang on a video, I usually keep it up as much as I can forever and ever. I want to help people. This is why I'm here. And I want to offer you some encouragement. If you've looked in the mirror, because in the past, maybe you tried to attempt to save money, and maybe for a little bit it worked out, but then for the long haul, for whatever the reason, you took the money out and you gave up on it, said, the heck with this, or whatever. This is what makes the viewers of my channel so unique. I am fascinated by the fact that many of the people that actually view my channel have been long-time savers and, wonderful, set in your ways and know what you're doing. But it amazes me that you guys are watching me, and please keep watching me. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you, but it amazes me. However, most of the time I gear my channel's main mission is to encourage the person that never thinks they could save, even if it's on the level of the $1 a day. This is why I provide the encouragement with the $1 a day thing. To me, it's like savings on training wheels. But I think there's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. I think there might be even older people who give up easily, not just on saving money, for example, but on other goals that may be going on. Because in the back of their head, they're hearing that naysayer, or just some echoing, or maybe just even self-dialogue. Sometimes the worst naysayer could be our own self, where we talk ourselves out of doing things, where we are negative to our own selves. And we have this little voice that we make up in our own head telling us, we can't do this, we can't do that. Is it a question sometimes of can't do, or is it truly possibly a question of won't do? I wonder about that. Here's a little bit of an optional homework assignment. And as you know, I'm a former school teacher, so I tend to give out homework. Any homework I ever give out, of course, is optional. So for the person or persons that's interested in doing this, take a minute to look back, write down throughout your entire lifetime all the positive impact that you have made on others. Write down the accomplishments. They don't have to be huge. They don't have to be earth-shattering. They don't have to be mega large. If it is like, for example, raising a family, you raise the family. That's huge. That is not minor. I'll never forget this. I have to tell you a short story. A while back, a social worker, when my mother came out of a rehab, when she was, recovering from something a few years back, a social worker asked my mother, you lived to be this long, and what have you accomplished in life? And she says, not much. I looked at her. I said, how can you say that, Mom? You raised 5 successful children as best as possible. You were widowed rather young. My mother was widowed in her late 40s, which is barely old at all, in my opinion. And she raised us, and she worked as much as she could. And we all got through school, private schools too. Just saying, just saying. My mom and dad, bless his heart, worked hard. Anyone to say that is not a successful thing. This is what I'm trying to say. Many of us like take it for granted, raising kids and all this. Well, it takes a lot of work and sacrifice. So yes, please do indicate something like that. For example, on your optional homework assignment. Far too many of us focus way too much time on all the things we didn't do. So if you didn't get to do a certain thing, write it down on your, as they call it, bucket list. Things that you may want to do. So maybe you didn't get to bungee jump over a mountain if that was one of the things that you had planned to do. But perhaps you did something like way more successful, like for example, like going to a job and keeping that job and doing a great job and helping build a business. These are not minor things. I want you to do this because I would like for you to remember all the wonderful things that you did do and stop focusing on that echoing sound of you can't, you can't, you can't. Perhaps in some cases it might be you can't, which is very rare, or many times it's you won't, or many, many times, and this is the really, to me, the really sadder part, is I gave in, I caved in, and I listened to another person who is probably having a personal hard time in their own life. I noticed the pattern. I could be wrong. I'm no expert. I'm no psychologist or anything like that. I'm just a liver of life, like everybody else. But I have noticed that some of the most personally unhappy or perhaps subconsciously unfulfilled people, the ones that sit around telling everybody else of all the things that they can't do, maybe secretly, they may be actually jealous of you and want you to hurt. Because unfortunately, people that are hurting themselves have a tendency to want to hurt others. They don't even realize they're doing it half the time. So that's why part of your homework assignment is if you come across anything like that, negativity in life in general, that'll be like a long-term ongoing homework assignment. Take it with a grain of salt, but you don't have to sit there and listen to it. If you're hearing something unpleasant and you don't want to get further upset and you don't want the, let's say, disagreement to escalate further, you have the option to just walk away, just like literally walk away. You don't have to have that negativity in your life. I know everyone can save. I know we can do it. All of us can do it. We just have to find the ways to do it. We have to dismiss the negative echoing, whether it's self-created or literally someone else is saying it. Hey, look, put it this way. That person is probably having a bad day, but don't let it ruin yours. Just saying, just saying. So that's why I said, let me come on here this afternoon and just give you a little bit of a pep talk and remind you to look in the mirror and say this: I can do this. Really, literally, look in the mirror today and go, I can do this. I have this thing covered. Even if it's saving $20 this week, I can and will do this at the grocery store. Even if it's putting something back into back in the grocery store that you had in your shopping cart. I don't want to buy this because I prefer to keep my money. There you go. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.